Eating figs and enjoying view. Now this is what makes me happy. Every time I see a view like that, I am so amazed. I'm not sure if you can get used to it. I hope not. And it seems like behind me there's the city of Dubrovnik. I guess this is where I'm headed. So I finally made it to the city, and I'm gonna take a quick look at it because it looks really nice. But first I need to take a swim. Okay, so I'm refreshed and it's time to keep moving. That was really nice, being able to get into the water. As I said, I had a quick look at the old city, checked out the spots where some of the scenes from Game of Thrones were shot, refilled my water bottles in a water fountain and went on. That could be a good moment to talk some more about water. It is the most important resource and you need to be constantly thinking if what you have is enough. Because you can go without food for a long time, but after a day without water, you'll go insane in a hot weather like that. Water is also something that you can save money on, because a bottle of water in Dubrovnik costs about $2. That's a lot of money for water. To get around that, I always looked and asked for public water taps or fountains. Another thing you can do is to go to any restaurant and ask them to fill your bottles. In most cases they are very nice and will help you. So I just found this in the middle of Dubrovnik. Pretty nice, huh? I found this really nice place to take a break and cool off a little bit, and I'm gonna use this time to talk to you about my current position a little bit. It's already like 5 o'clock and I thought that by now I'm gonna be out of Dubrovnik. I'm gonna have to look for some place to sleep in the city. Generally speaking, you don't want to be sleeping there. There's too much people. You want to find a place like this one where I can't really see any people here, and I'm not sure if it's a park or something like that, but if you have to spend the night in the city, just get away from all the people. So it seems I'm gonna spend this night in here. Abandoned and unfinished buildings like this one are actually pretty great for spending a night in it, but you always have to check if there are no other or previous inhabitants. For example, here it seems like someone has been living before, but it's not anymore. That's not my stuff. I checked this building room by room and it seems that no one's living here, so I'm good to go. Before I go to sleep though, I'm gonna make a use of the rings I'm carrying with me all the time, everywhere. Training while traveling is very difficult because you are tired all the time from walking and carrying your backpack, but it's so nice if you can manage to find the energy to do it. My morale went up immediately after I did this session, so it was definitely worth it. In moments of lower power and motivation like this one, I always do basic exercise. If you have a set routine, you can do the training quickly and without the need of thinking too much. Unfortunately, I cannot afford wasting any water, so this is my shower today. On today's episode of Cooking with David, we're gonna be making rice with tomato sauce. That's it. I already collected some wood for the fire, set up those 2 bricks to be able to put this pot on top of them and cook the rice. All I need to do is now start the fire. I'm using a fire starter to do it because it's much more reliable than matches or a lighter. It's also way cooler to be able to start a fire with a spark. I'm also using a small ball of cotton to make things easier, but it's not essential. You can use a toilet paper as well, or just some small dry pieces of wood or grass. I want to use as little water as possible, so I'm gonna try to cook the rice mostly in this sauce. A big mistake I did here was not using any cover over the pot. This way it would cook way faster and less water would be necessary. The next couple of times I was cooking, I used a flat stone to cover the pot. After about half an hour, dinner's finally ready. I was thinking about sleeping on the floor today, but since last night was so awesome and I slept so good, I set up a hammock again. The rice isn't cooked perfectly, but as Mick Jagger said, you can't always get what you want. By the way, this is where I sleep today. I finished my dinner, so it's already getting dark. So I'm gonna go to sleep very soon. So that's gonna be a wrap up for this day. See you tomorrow. Welcome in the morning of the 3rd day. That was another very successful night. I slept like a baby for 10 hours straight. I've quickly packed my bag and now I have to find a store to buy some water, because that's all water I have left. So I found the store where I bought the water, and right now I'm heading to the beach, which is there. Just to get a quick swim to clean my body and then have a breakfast, finally. I can't stress enough how important it is to be able to take a bath from time to time, especially after a full day of sweating. This is why in most cases I try to stay pretty close to the water. I end up not eating at the beach because it was too crowded, but I found this beautiful place with such a great view, and now I'm just gonna eat here on the bench. But first I have to clean my pot because I didn't do it yesterday. The pot is more or less clean, so it's time to make breakfast. Oats and raisins. Simple but very tasty. It's so loud here. Not bad, is it? I'm climbing this small mountain in the middle of the Dubrovnik, but it's so hot I have to take a break to cool down from time to time. And I can't really take off my shirt because I would get sunburned very quickly. I guess I made it to the top. Yeah, that seems to be the top. What is it about us humans that we like to climb mountains so badly? Or is it just me? Right now I have to go all the way down because I'm meeting my friend Max in like an hour or hour and a half. I better hurry up. Do you see that tower over there? This is where I was 2 hours ago. At this point I picked up my friend Max from the bus station and we continued together. I didn't talk to the camera anymore because I wanted to experience the remaining of the trip through my own eyes without constantly thinking about shooting the video. However, I recorded the places where we slept in so I can show you some more examples. On that day we came back to the place I showed you earlier. We met two backpacker girls on the way and decided to spend the night together there. One of those girls made me a tattoo. Then we parted ways and me and Max went to hike some mountains. We spent the next day on the top of the mountain. It was one of the best places I slept in. The next day we found a bunch of abandoned hotels and we slept on the roof of one of them. We also cooked some pasta there. In the morning of the next day I practiced some flips, we did a training session on rings and soon after that we split up. I went back towards the airport and spent my last night in a hammock next to the cliff. That was pretty much the end of the trip. I had a really good time, met a lot of awesome people, saw and did a bunch of great things. At the beginning of the trip, I exchanged $100 for local currency and spent only about $75 for food, some water, and 1 or 2 bus rides, where it was difficult to hitchhike. That makes a total of $175 for a week-long trip in this incredible place. It's definitely not a way to travel for everyone, but if you're willing to endure some inconveniences, then you can have a great vacation for a fraction of the cost that regular people spend. If you have any questions regarding budget travel, please post them in the comments below. If there will be enough interesting ones that I can answer, I'm gonna make a Q&A video. I wanted to thank my patrons for supporting the channel and contributing to the videos getting better and more interesting. If you'd like your name to appear here as well, please have a look at my Patreon site. The link is in the description below. Thanks and see you in the next video.